Hello and welcome to Season AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. If you're joining us for the first time and you haven't subscribed to Season AY, please go ahead and subscribe to Season AY on YouTube. Here's what you need to do: go down to Season AY on YouTube and subscribe to Season AY. Hit the notification button and, of course, give us a thumbs up and help us reach more people with our broadcast. We really appreciate your support. Right, let's proceed. Shortly, we're going to play you a video of Naira Marley where he talks about how he talked Mohbad, purportedly. Somebody purported it to be Mohbad on the video, where he talked him out of ending it after his girlfriend reported him to Naira. So, let's have a listen and then we'll come and discuss my take on what we heard, what we are here about to hear.
To want to kill yourself, you said you're not okay, we're still checking doctor, waiting for doctor scan, bad tablet, bad treatment. If you're not better, we'll go back to doctor again. Do you get?
Alright, sir.
But you are the king. You are the king. You are the king of your own world, not me. I don't control your world. You're no more. You're free. You're the king of your own world, which means I want you to be a king around yourself too. So on that day, I like that. Anybody don't stress there. The ones that come back for boy, tell them no. You are the king. Mo ti sọ fún ẹ wedding.
The last time I went to the church, I'm going to èmi ló ń ṣe oògùn kan àwọn kíní yẹn wà heartbreaking gan mi ìdẹ láìkì ẹ̀kọ́ sí kọ́tí mi bá sọ pé mi ṣe wọn táwọn bá sì ṣe ń lọ mi ó máa ń dùn mí gan.
Ṣé nínú church náà ti sọ bẹ́ẹ̀?
No, bàtí mi dé padà nínú ìgbà tí ń gbọ́.
Ò ń gbọ́ lọ́dọ̀ ta ni? Fóònù ẹ ti ń cut off.
Bàtí mi dé padà ni mo kò bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń gbọ́ different things lẹ́nu àwọn different people like. I'm appreciating it. So why you go see church more like to worship prayer because me I don't really like the way I'm feeling. If I go to anywhere now, then I feel like we're unique. Yes. So that's why everything has been happening like that. I just need somebody to trust my word.
Yeah, but who can trust your word though? You say you need somebody, pick somebody that you can speak to. Pick somebody. If you can't speak to your girl, you don't need them around. You can't speak to your dad. Oh, need the one. So I do one. Oh, give me one every day. You meet different girls and you the basketball or bounce or mingle. You don't want to basketball. You're gonna help it's gonna help your stress. So yeah, if you don't have no one to talk to, sometimes it might be strangers you want to talk to. Sometimes it might be someone you know. So it's your godmon Jacko money, king in here. So yeah, oba dem was son got to fair ni. Got to fair ló máa sọ. Oh, you're gonna make decision, but you're gonna make decision lórí ẹ̀. Èmi náà ti sọ fún last time.
So, it seems as though he was trying to, he was trying to make give him some advice about, and talking him out of ending his life, that kind of thing, after the girlfriend called, which is fine. But I think one of the best way you could help I would say that the music industry must ensure that any future label, those who are going to set up labels, they must have not only about thinking about the music but also the welfare of their artists. So they need to have, the federal government must have a list of recognized therapists or psychologists to be able to help these young artists to cope with the stresses of what they're going through, their fame, and all the likely things that's likely to bring about. Because it seems that the label heads, from quite a few cases we'll be hearing so far, they do not have the ability to take care of that. And the advice given by Marley here, it's not really the advice that one would readily recommend for somebody that has issue where everything is cloudy in his mind. We need somebody who are experts in those fields to be the ones giving the advice to youngsters who have got concerns. And unfortunately, you would heard about, we heard him say, because of what our society has done, they either say, he said, oh, if I go to the church or go to the far, they'll be saying something, or, and that is the problem. Our society, I've been saying it for a long time, and this is bearing it out, sadly. May his soul rest in peace, Mohbad. The churches and the mosques, they are there. They've made us all psychologically believe that as Christians or as Muslims that we're servants to Jesus Christ or to Allah, or all of that stuff. When in actual fact, we are sovereigns. We are sovereigns in our nation. And the powers we possess, we can use it in a particular way. And it changes your mindset. See, when you have an issue where a pastor and imam is talking about their religion and using it as a way, especially in the lives of these youngsters, they want to use them to get their churches and their mosques to become a place where more people will come. They're not interested in your personal well-being. They just want to see that what you're doing fits into what they can use to for their own exposure. And rightly, Imole wasn't able to voice that out. But that's what I was trying to say in what he said there. And I wanted to just really highlight that area. We need to, in our society, we have to rebuild our society and ensure that we, the people, we understand first and foremost the power we possess as sovereigns. Section 14.2a of the Nigerian Constitution states, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through its constitution, derives all its powers and authority. And it's something that I want us all to really inculcate in our thinking. 1 second, please. I'm just going to just quickly check something whilst I'm doing this. So give me a minute. I want you to know that in depth, because I really want to touch on that, because all too often we are unaware of this power, and that is and we should all know it from a young age, and we need to know that as sovereigns, the powers we possess as sovereigns is more powerful than the Bible and the Quran. So it ties into what Imole was trying to say. He said he felt one kind of is going to a church and in the mosque they'll be saying things, and they weren't. He knew that he wasn't getting the help he needed. He couldn't get that help there, but unfortunately, this is where I'm saying it's very, very important that this federal government really relooks at the music industry again, and they have to have certain structures in place where the mental welfare of artists who are going to be signed, who are being signed to any label, is given priority, and they have to make sure it's part of their framework going forward. That industry must ensure that they have that, and the government would provide that kind of independent therapist. Talking therapy is what we need, not a church and a mosque that doesn't solve the problem. They cover the problem up. God will do it. And it doesn't solve it. Each individual has particular problems, and it's only by showing them their strengths through talking therapy will they be able to say, oh, I know I'm good at this, I can do that. They can come. You are trying to help them reach a decision themselves that they can take that will make them restore their well-being themselves, empowering them through talking therapy, not making suggestions that are just not really going to be appropriate for each person. And that's why the label bosses really need to focus on the music, but when it comes to mental issues, they refer them to experts in that field. That's what I think, in my own opinion. Now, let me just show you what I mean here. I want you to read this. Sorry about that. And we'll just quickly come back to that. So, yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. We're just going to quickly zoom in on this one. Quickly. I'm going to end it. I'm going to finish the broadcast shortly. But I just wanted to just show you this is very important that we have this in place, because this is what many of us lack. In whatever industry that you're in, please, you need to be aware that you're a sovereign. This is what the Bible and the Quran doesn't tell you. And that is why. And the thing is, Imole he sensed he needed something to help him, but he didn't know how to go about getting that help. And unfortunately, the advice that I'm hearing thus far from Naira Marley did not provide that answer, because he's not equipped to do so. Talking therapy would have really helped in this situation. Sadly, it's too late. And of course, the police Had the police done their role? Imole did everything right. He told the police that his life was under threat on the 25th of June, on the 27th of June, 2023. He wrote a petition. The police ignored him. 2.5 months after he died, they now start saying this and that. Oh, we're doing this. We're looking into it. We'll come back. We will reveal. Not. It's too late. Your job as the police is to prevent the death of somebody who's calling you for assistance and help. You could have protected him. You failed. And then instead of protecting him, you blamed him that he provided no evidence when there is evidence all over the place. So the police have there's a lack of trust in the police because they ignored this young boy when he was asking for help. 27-year-old. May his soul rest in peace, Imole. Oh man. They failed him woefully. That's why I'm insisting that the police must pay financial compensation to the family of Mohbad Imole. Wife, child, father, mother, all of them. And they also have to pay compensation. That has to be also factor in the fact that the police allow for the horrid burial of Mohbad without proper investigation, particularly as Mohbad wrote a petition. That petition should have been the grounds on which they say no, you cannot bury him because we have a petition. But they just rubbish. They discountenance what he said. So that led to him being buried. And then when they were exhuming him, the forensic work at the burial site was shoddy, was terrible. I mean, I've seen a video where they were taking the body and one of his body part was moving around in a way which it's like you're not having a dignity for his humanity, for our humanity as Africans. So there's a lot of work to be done on this. The police have failed. And I would say that the police need training in forensic work when there's death involved. They have to take possession of the location, the vehicle, the burial site. They have to have cordons. They have to have forensic tent. They have to have proper training for everybody involved, from those who are going to carry the body out to the people who are going to do the examination of the body, of the exhumed body, by the coroners, and all of these things, because it doesn't leave us with any confidence. And because the police did not listen to him when he called for help, instead they were blaming him. Those officers that were blaming him, they should not form part of the investigation. In fact, they must be disciplined. They need to be disciplined, and they have to be investigated themselves, so that he has to serve as an example to other officers, that if you fail in your duty to protect somebody that has put a petition forward, you will take that responsibility on, if it means you being prosecuted also. So there's a lot of work for us to do. So please, it starts with this. Our youth, young and old, from 4-year-old, please teach them this. Section 14.2a. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. So as a sovereign, you have the powers to hold your governors to account. This changes the mindset. So the things that we're lacking in our community, we can hold our governors to account. Because many of the time, the likes of Imole, they don't even know that these are kind of things that we can actually do as a people. And actually, it informs your actions going forward, whether you're going to interact with anybody in the labor business, in music business, and whatever. So this information that I want you to share, that you see on the screen, please take a screenshot and share it. Section 14.2c. The participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. These are things we should really be teaching our children from the age of 4 years old, so that we all have the knowledge that we possess powers that we can use to hold our governors to account. This will remove all of this distraction of this Christian and Islam that have no powers. They have no constitutional powers. Their powers, the two of them, Christianity and Islam combined, they do not have as much power as we, the citizens, have as sovereigns. Many of us don't even know we're sovereigns. So we need to change that mindset. So anyway, in closing, I want to thank you so much for watching. You've been watching This Is NY, the platform where we speak truth to power. May the soul of Mohbad, may his soul rest in peace. We did this broadcast really in honor of Mohbad. He was really trying. He tried everything to stay alive. The system failed him. industry he's in failed him. Collectively as a society, we failed him. And now the best thing that can happen is for the police to have proper investigation and expose the truth. Let Imole lead you to the truth. He provided all lot of evidence that will lead to the truth of how he died. You must speak truth to power. Again, we call for compensation to be paid to his family. It's really, really sad his passing. So let me just do this. So, and of course, the man you see on the screen here, let me just get that back for you quickly because it looks a bit funny. You see it there. Let me just get that back here. 1 second. Just want to make sure you see it properly. So the man in the picture, Naira Marley, yes, I think from here on, any evidence you have, just provide it to the police. And the police must carry out a proper investigation. We don't have any confidence in them. Again, we reiterate, anybody that's going to be part of this investigation must not be part of the people that ignored him when he ignored Mohbad when he sent in the petition on the 27th of June 2023, and they ignored him until his death. They must be part of it. They have to be disciplined. Those people must be investigated. So Naira Marley, of course, he's due to make himself available to the police. We know Sam Larry has made himself available, and the actions of Sam Larry in actually taking 15 people to him and saying, "Oh, we're gonna," and threatening this young man, psychologically that breaks you. I don't know why. What does Naira Marley have to say about that? That has not been addressed, but it's not in our hands. The police now, they have to do the right thing, and they must pay compensation to the family because they failed them on several levels. The petition, they ignored it. How they did not say to those who are planning to bury, say, no, you cannot. With the police, we're getting involved. We are telling you now, this body, we are going to investigate before he's buried. We need to know the circumstances that surround his death. And then, of course, the exhuming. It was so terrible. I mean, honestly, we need to restore the dignity of Mohbad and the dignity of us as Africans. We have to treat our body when we're there that with respect and humanity. We need to do that. It is a mad, and these religions don't care. They just say Allah is this, Allah. They're not interested in that. It is our humanity that we must restore as Africans. Christianity and Islam do not care about our humanity as Africans. I'm telling you that now. Take it or leave it. They're not. They don't care. And we need to understand that, particularly on African soil. We'll talk more about that later on. But for now, you are, of course, watching Citizen Air, the platform where we speak truth to power. Help us share this broadcast. So, what are your thoughts on what you've had so far? How do you see it? Was it the right thing for him to release this? Did he get the right advice? And now, do you trust the police of Nigeria? And what do you think the police should be doing? How can the police restore trust, your trust in them? How can they? These are things and comments I think we should really talk about. Please remember, we need to begin to exercise our sovereignty. As stated before, sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives its powers and authority. That's you and I. Section 14.2c. The participation by the people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. I want you all to know those language, those words, and study it and learn it offhand. Begin to use that in your communities. We have to take power back and hold our governors to account, because with the failure of governance is what is leading to the failure in so many industries, including the music industry, and lives are lost when the government is not doing the right thing, and we the people have the power to compel the government using our sovereignty to do the right thing. There's a lot of work for us all to do, but for now I want to thank you very much. Please go ahead and subscribe to Citizen on YouTube. Subscribe, hit the notification button, give us thumbs up, and help us reach more people. Thank you so very much for watching. I'll be back later on. Go ahead, subscribe. Thank you, and bye for now. May the soul of Mohbad Imole, may his soul rest in peace. Condolences to the family once again. Thank you, and bye for now.